Hi, I'm Arshia Sahani.
Hi, I'm Moksha Kasamseni,
And this
this
is
is Standing on Business.
a podcast that aims to inspire young females and anyone interested in business.
By interviewing entrepreneurs and business owners who turn their passions into solid businesses. Our guest today is an artist, a teacher, a mother, a wife, and moreover, a business owner.
She's dedicated her life's work to fostering creativity in children and adults alike. Now we're presenting Alycia Trotter from Adorable West.
Hey, girls.
So nice to have you today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited. I think what you guys are doing is really cool.
Thank you. So we'd like to start off by just getting a few words in on how you started, like the idea for your business.
Sort of the spark. My first question for you is, was there a specific moment, like being an artist or being an art teacher, that like sparked your interest to fall in love with art?
I don't think I ever had a moment that I can remember because I have just loved to be creative and be creating for as long as I can remember, since I was a little kid. I love to draw, I love to paint, I love to color, I love to build, I love to design, just anything creative. I was doing it and I love doing it. So I don't have a specific moment. It's just always been something I've loved.
That's really interesting to hear. So like loving art and like as a kid, like what was your favorite like art technique or art supply?
Yeah, so I loved to draw Disney characters. So back then it was VHS and we'd have the VHS tapes and I would take those VHS tapes and I would draw them. I would draw what I saw. It was kind of like a way for me to practice drawing. I would watch Disney movies and then I'd pause it and I would draw what I would see. And I always thought I'd grow up being a Disney illustrator. So I really love to illustrate and do drawing.
What was your favorite Disney movie?
Beauty and the Beast.
Me too.
Yeah.
I performed it. I do theater in high school, so I performed that. That was my first play out.
Oh, that's awesome. Yep, that's my favorite.
Yeah. So what inspired you to open your own art studio rather than like a traditional art career path, like going to college for art, for example?
I actually did go the traditional art path first and was a elementary school art teacher. And I went to college for interior design, so it was still a creative type, degree that I was going towards. But I just knew that I wanted to open my own space and my own studio and kind of do it my way. And so for as long as I can remember, I've wanted to own an art studio. Even when I first started teaching, that's what I just thought, man, someday I'm gonna have an art studio.
So it was like the one like time where you decided like now is the time.
So I was teaching in at the elementary school here in Prosper, and I was doing a lot of summer camps at my house in the garage in the summertime. And they were just filling up, and people wanted more and wanted me to do more weeks. At first, I was just doing 2 weeks, then I was doing 4 weeks, and then I was doing one camp a week to two camps a week. And then that's when I really realized that this could be something, and we could do more than just camps if I had a brick and mortar space. And so that's really where, when those camps were filling up that I saw, yeah, okay, this could be a thing.
Yeah, I love that.
Like design this room yourself.
I did. It was just a blank space. But the funny thing about being creative is I think I'm constantly looking around thinking how I can change it and what I can do different. It's evolved the whole time that we've been here, and we're just constantly changing and updating it and doing new things and stuff.
Like bought the first place. Like what was like? Did you have a business plan or did you like just build it as you went?
So definitely just kind of a learn as you go type of a thing. Had a business plan in the sense of I knew what I wanted to offer, and I knew what I wanted to offer based upon what I had heard other people in the community say. At that time, we didn't have a lot of things for artsy kids. We had a music studio, tons of sports, but not anything really for artistic kids. And so I knew that I wanted to have art classes. I knew I wanted to do homeschool classes. And then I really thought about the little babies and thought, we can do some really cool creative things with like the moms and the littles too. And so it was a lot of just kind of trial and error and learning as I went. But I had a few solid programs that I built upon.
Yeah, it's good to hear. And if we all we both want to start like businesses in the future. We just like, we don't know if it's something that we applied since we were a kid that we wanted to do, but we're just like figuring that out as we went. So I like to hear that like everyone, like you start with an idea and then it just builds to like something.
Yeah, the main thing is just to start, because sometimes you could research and plan and do all these things for forever. And then it just never feels like I just gotta do more research, or I gotta make a better plan, or I gotta, and sometimes you just need to start and get it going, and then things will fall into place.
Okay.
Yeah, so now that we've talked a little bit about like the spark and like what started it all, we wanted to move into the process. So just one question to start that off would be, what was like the idea behind the name of?
Yeah, so it's always been a joyful mess, even when I was in the garage. I just really liked the word joyful, and joyful is found a lot in the Bible, and it just means a lot to me. And I really try to live my life that way. And I think that if we can find joy in the little things, and then it's a mess. Art's just a mess, but it's a joyful mess. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to be messy. It's a good thing to be creative, and so it just evolved.
I think in the first time we like find people judging me, I was like, well, I love this name for doing this person.
I've had a lot of people. I had one time a shipping lady at FedEx who had to call me about package, and she's like, "I just have to tell you, I love your business name." I was like, "Well, thanks."
It's really creative. I love it. Awesome.
So, like, when you started off, like, how did you ensure that you would pursue like an art studio, even with like the hurdles and struggles or like anything related to that?
Yeah, it's hard. There's definitely a lot of, hard times and stuff, but I think when the kids would come and they would be so just ecstatic and happy, and the parents would just say, "Oh my gosh, I love it here," or "They love it here." That's the type of stuff that pushes you through, because you see your community just loving what you're doing, and that is truly what I wanted. And then tell them that, like, you are making my dream come true. Like, the fact that I get to do this, that you guys are just so excited, but I'm so excited because you guys are making my dream come true. So I think being able to see how happy it made the kids and how happy it made the families, that's what pushes you through when you're, kind of going, "Oh gosh, this is hard."
How long have you lived in Prosper?
We've lived in Prosper for close to 15 years. The studio has been open for 7 years this summer.
That's amazing. I think you're definitely seeing how Prosper's grow.
Yes.
Like I moved here ended 5 years ago,
Yeah.
so it was like in the middle of the grow wave.
Yeah.
Yes, but you've seen like probably so many people come in and out.
Yeah.
That's just wonderful.
Yeah, it's neat when you can grow with your community.
Yeah.
I love that. And so like, you've like whatever we talked about is like perfection, like art, and like happiness. But like, what was one lesson that you learned the hard way? Like this.
Oh, not to do it all yourself. At the beginning, especially when you're starting a business, you just wear all the hats and do all the things, and you're up until all hours of the night. You just do it all yourself, and then you quickly realize that you can't. You need some help, and you need help from people that know what they're doing, whether that's, a bookkeeper, somebody that knows the financial part of it, and not me trying to have to figure it out, or whether that is a, website developer, somebody that, yes, I could learn how to do a website, but they know what they're doing. And maybe I outsource some of that. Teaching classes. I have amazing teachers, amazing team. And at first it was me teaching all the classes, and I was here until 8 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock at night. And that's just a lot when you have a family and everything else. And then I finally realized I needed some help, and I hired some amazing, amazing teachers. And when you do that, it just makes you better. When you bring those experts into your business, it does nothing but grow. And so I think that is a lesson that I learned really quick, is not to try to do it all, and that it's not a bad thing to get help.
Yeah. I think like we're just students right now, and I think that we've seen like our teachers come in and help us. Like I do theater, she does art. She's been doing art, yeah, as well. So we just like when I started, I was like, oh, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be good at this. But then like once the teachers came in and helped us, I was like, just when overall like the community helps you and you just grow with it.
I feel like teachers have a big impact on you because I just signed up this year to do tech theater, and it's like a whole new world. But having the art experience, to like applying it, learning how to do lighting, or like learning how to do anything behind the stage, like the teachers were everything.
Yeah, that it's super helpful. Yeah.
So as a business, you said earlier that they had like a lot of music places and like sports places, but then it had like a art studio. Yeah. So right now, if you've seen that community growth, how do you like differentiate yourself or your competitors? Like, what's your message that you like to carry through?
I think that the way that we differentiate ourselves is definitely our team. We have our team is made of art educators. And so these are teachers that are in the district that are working with the kids. They know what the kids like, they know what the kids enjoy. So we kind of always have our finger on the pulse of like what kids like and what kids want. I think that's important. I think that just having the mindset of being, you know, everybody, there can be a lot of art places, but everybody's going to be a little bit different in some way. And I think that that's good. And I think it gives a variety. And I think as long as you just know uh, who your customers are, and who you're serving, that you'll be just
I think that's great. I think like I saw earlier you had a Squishmallow can.
Yeah.
And his like my sister would love it.
Yeah.
So like I was like looking at all the creative ideas you guys had. I
Yeah.
just felt well done. Like
Yeah.
Baby doll horses that you just
Yeah.
made. Like I've never heard of that. Like as a kid growing up, we're like, wait, I want my baby doll house to be like this. Yeah, this is just like putting their creative minds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Dollhouse Camp is one of my favorite camps. And actually one thing that I love about it is that my dad builds the doll houses and my son helps him and my papa, who's 84, comes in and helps too. And so it's just a really cool thing. And then the kids just love it. I mean, it's just truly a camp where they can be so creative and just let loose and just do whatever they want. We just give them things. We give them fabric, we give them boxes, we give them things, and we just say, have at it. And we're the guides. We will, oh, help me. How can I, use the pipe cleaner and make it into a chandelier? We're like, well, we can help you with that, but they have those ideas and all the things. And I love seeing the houses because sometimes you have ones that have an art room in it. I had one year that had a gymnastics studio in their house, all kinds of things. So that's a really fun camp because you really get to see the kids just be so creative. And then yeah, the Squishmallow one is definitely 2026 most popular summer camp. that's been a fun one this year.
Yeah, that's great. I think the next question you have is like, what is a mistake that you've made that ended up teaching you a important lesson? And if it's not a mistake, like a funny story behind the scenes.
But I think if I'm talking about something that probably like a lesson, like a business type lesson, I would say, I have all these ideas and all these classes that I think would be really, really cool. And then they kind of like, they aren't so cool. Like it's not what the community wants. And so I've got to remember like, okay, just because I think something is really, really cool, like I need to listen and I need to be paying attention to what the community wants and doing that. And so sometimes you can think that you're going to have like the most fun class and then it's not really what everybody else is envisioning. And so just really trying to make sure that we're listening to our community and having programs that they're wanting. I think that was kind of a lesson that I learned. I don't know, a funny behind the scenes was like, I can't even tell you how many things of paint we've dropped and we just have paint covered all of us at some point have texted a picture and been like, I just dropped the paint and you've got paint all over your hair and all over. We always have to wear my hair in a ponytail because if I don't, I come home with paint all in my hair. You probably know that.
Yeah.
So you can't have long fingernails when you're working with clay. So I constantly have, nail clippers somewhere so I can clip my nails when I'm working with clay and all the little like things that you figure out when you start.
There are times I've walked in a hallway with like paint in my hair.
Yeah.
I get insane.
Yep. There's been many a times where I'll put a pencil in my ponytail just so to remember to grab it, and sometimes I had 3 of them up there and it's just kind of.
Yeah, I remember one time we were painting a set for the Little Mermaid we had at Richland this year, and then she fell into paint.
Oh
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that feeling like, again, a joyful mess.
Yes,
like
it is.
It's fun.
I know. That's what I tell the kids too. If they get messy or they get, I'm like, you know what? You're not an artist unless you're messy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like now that we've like understood more of the process and like the behind the scenes, we want to transition to the now and like how it is now. And if you could go back to like talking to your little self, what would be one piece of advice you would give to her?
Tell myself to do it sooner. Being in a creative world, you have a lot of people that don't think that that's a great choice. I mean, I always had supportive family and friends and everything else, but I know that a lot of creatives have a hard time because, people are always like, oh, you're not going to make any money doing it or get a real job or, and I think just knowing what your passion is and just starting there and doing it. And I always knew I wanted to be in the creative world. And I did other things first, but I just wish I would have started sooner.
And like, what were these skills behind like the crucial like being? Wait, what skills have been really crucial for like running a joyful art studio for you?
Yeah, definitely planning, organizing, communicating, learning how to create systems and processes, learning how to be a good leader. I think that never stop learning and always try to be better. And so I read a whole lot, and I always am trying to gain new skills. And but yeah, those are some of the ones that are crucial.
Is it more than just the artistic ability to run this place?
Oh yeah, way more than just the artistic ability. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into running a business, all the behind the scenes, all the marketing, all the communication with parents, all the and even getting supplies, like just having the amount of supplies that we have, making sure that everybody is knows where they're going to be when they need to be there, making sure the lessons are ready. We create our lessons in house, so we don't like go buy art curriculum for anywhere. We've created our own art curriculum, so that's another thing that differentiates us from other people. But that's a whole nother job in and of itself too, you know. And so there's a lot of stuff that goes into some
Do you still like
business.
go up, like go behind the scenes, or like go to but like tweak a little stuff like every time you start a new camp?
Yeah, yes, we definitely do. We talk about like what worked, what didn't work, what to do this year, what to do next year, what last year. Oh yeah, I remember that didn't go so right. We need to switch that up. But we try to have different camps every summer. And even if we have the same one, we try to do different projects just so that we can keep things fresh.
You talked a little about marketing. What has been your most effective way of attracting like new students or customers?
Yeah, I think being a part of the community, doing events with like we do a lot with Chick-fil-A whenever they have their events and stuff. We do a lot with the schools, different neighborhoods, whenever the town there's a 4th of July parade going on next week, and we're doing like the craft center for that. I think just being out and about and being in your community and meeting other business owners, community members, and just putting yourself out there, and then people will come to the studio, and then they refer you, and then they refer their friends, and that's where it just all grows. And that's what I like that authenticness of that.
Like Prosper's grown to become such a big community, and it started off like I think pretty small. So you've seen like all these events grow
Yeah.
out and all these places like come to be.
Yeah.
So like I think it's great to like implement yourself with that community. It definitely builds like trust with it.
Yeah, definitely, it's important.
Yeah. Was it also like always putting yourself out there and like getting every opportunity, or like taking any chance you can?
Yeah, definitely. Especially at the beginning, is just doing everything you can to get yourself out there and everything you can to, yes, get the studio out there so people would know about us, that type of thing. Then we kind of figured out like, okay, what events really work, what events don't. Um, Obviously, we're a children's art studio, so we do a lot of events that are geared around children. So, like Chick-fil-A is great. They're a great community partner to have because that's their focus too, our families and kids. So finding those community partners that align with what your values are or what your audience is really important too. So that's yeah, it's important.
Good to hear about the process. So we'd like to shift gears a little bit, just some general questions, some fun ideas. So first question, if your entrepreneurial journey were an art piece, what would it look like and why?
Oh gosh, it would be abstract and all over the place. But it would be bright colors. It would have lots of ups. It would have some downs. It would have all kinds of wavy, squiggly lines. And then it would have glitter everywhere for that sparkle.
I've been to like an art museum and I see some things that like I don't really know where the idea came from, but I think with a business there's so many like different inputs here and there and like such a big journey that
Oh, yeah. Sometimes art is just emotion. Sometimes people just a great way to get your emotion out is to just do art and create. And so,
Also, like each art piece, like I think each person looking at it has a whole new perspective to it.
definitely, that's what's cool about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you can change it to anything you can, and like metamorphosize like any art product, anything. That's the best part about it.
Yep, I agree. Yep.
And then our next question. Nowadays, AI has been
Yeah.
used a lot for businesses like to create music, visual media, digital art even.
Yeah.
So what are your viewpoints on AI? Do you think it's like job stealer, like most people think?
No, I think AI is, I mean, I think it's really cool. I use it every day. I think that it's a good tool. I think that it is not it's not something that should replace creativity. It's not something that should replace somebody's artistic ability, but it's a great tool and it is something that, is good to have in your arsenal. And I think that it's, yeah, like I said, I use it too. I just don't think you should replace your art or your creativity or make it be the end product or
Mhm.
make it be what you're constantly using.
Yeah. So what has been like an example of like you using AI for?
So, well, definitely I use ChatGPT and Claude. I use those a lot just to, get ideas. It's a good brain dump. It's a good way to kind of just like get ideas down and then kind of have it filter and help you through all those and through your thoughts and kind of you can go and I can sit there and go, okay, well then what about this and what about this and this and this and then keep going for a while with it. But it I use it to help like if I'm going to make a graphic, I don't love just the AI generated graphics that you see everywhere. Like I don't super love that. But if I like let's say that you're going to make a graphic for a Christmas gingerbread house, workshop. So you may say create 3 different graphics for that. And then you look at those 3 that it came up with and then go create your own graphic, but you can grab some of the ideas, but go create your own end product. Use it as a tool.
I think like with our logo, when we were designing it, we were like, let's have AI try it.
Yeah,
But then
definitely.
we took like the chess piece idea from
Yeah.
it and then we transformed it. We made it our own.
Yes, exactly. You'll get your ideas. It's great to generate ideas. It's great to kind of, do that, some of the general first draft type stuff, but then create your own.
Yeah.
So you like Canva or Adobe?
Oh, Canva. Yeah, it is. It is. I do love Canva. Yeah.
So like what strengths do you think women bring to entrepreneurship or like businesses?
Oh, I think women are fantastic business owners. They multitask well, they problem solve well, they're good communicators, they are good team players. I have a mastermind group that is other business or other women owned business owners. And it is my favorite thing. And we've become incredibly good friends too. I think women build each other up. I think they empower each other. I think women have great ideas. I think women are powerful business owners.
I'm I think I've grown up seeing my grandmother and my mother start businesses. So it's
Awesome.
just like they've been through the journey and they're like cosmetologists. So
Yeah.
she's like gone to school and I've like helped her with her homework at times, like draw like the skin
Yeah.
stuff for her. So I feel like just having like a community that supports you, especially with women,
Yeah.
is so helpful.
Yeah. It's huge.
And I think at the end of the day, we all stand up for each other.
Yeah.
And like inspire more the younger generations and make it so common for women to be entrepreneurs.
I agree.
So for me, growing up, I did a bunch of art classes and in school. And like there used to be some kids who like just believe that they're just not good artists.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with students like that?
I think that sometimes you just have to believe in the kiddo. I think that sometimes you just have to go show them what is working and you have to show them the good parts about their art and you have to build that confidence in them. And then a lot of times they start to see it and then they start to believe it. And I think it's important to let people know too, like, hey, we're all unique and individuals, and that's art is too. You may not be an amazing watercolor artist, but you may be an amazing clay artist. You may not do so great with drawing, but maybe you are a great sculptor. There's so many different forms of art. And then there's also abstract art too. I mean, you may not be a realism artist. You may not be somebody that enjoys or wants to draw realistic things, but you may draw more passionately and use those emotions and use color that way and just let it all go and let it out there if you're an abstract artist. And so I think that sometimes it's finding the medium that they're really good at. And I think sometimes it's pointing out what you see, what I see in their artwork that is working and just building that confidence up and getting them to remember that it's a process. Keep going, trust the process, and have fun.
Like I think if the teachers are like don't support us that way, especially in our career,
Yeah.
it just like tears you apart.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
The supporting teachers is what like helps you in your art career and like want you to try new stuff and like understand that you're doing it in a specific way and there's no standard way to follow.
Right. It's not a right or a wrong.
Okay, so now we've discussed like our big questions that we have for you. So we have this we want to establish this tradition of a rapid fire question, right? So we'll have a few art questions and a few business questions mixed in there.
Okay.
We'll give you 2 options and you have 5 seconds to answer each.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Paint markers or traditional paints?
Traditional paints.
Metallics or pastels?
Metallics.
3D or 2D work?
3D.
Take a risk or play it safe?
Oh, take a risk.
Acrylic or watercolor?
Watercolor.
Favorite art brand?
Well, because I'm a kids art studio, Uli is a great kids art brand.
Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci or The Starry Night by Vincent Van Gogh?
Starry Night by Vincent Van Gogh. Yeah.
Paper or canvas?
Canvas.
Digital art or traditional art?
Traditional art.
What color you can never go without?
Oh. Teal.
Bicolor pencil or blending style?
Blending style.
What art supply you cannot live without?
Paintbrush? Can't live without a paintbrush.
One word that describes your business.
Joyful.
That was a bit crazy, Amy. I think, yeah, we just wanted to like have a little session.
I love it. That was fun. That was really fun. I
I was
was
nervous
done
at
the
first,
most. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. You guys did great.
Thank you.
We have one last question.
Okay.
This is to like wrap up our session, but I would go ahead and first thank you so much for giving us the opportunity and believing in our abilities today.
Yes. I mean, I think what you guys are doing awesome, and you guys are so far ahead of the game. Like, you guys are on it. You guys are doing great.
Yeah. So our last question is, what is one piece of advice that you have for people out there who need to take the first step?
Just do it. Just take the first step. Just take it. It's scary and it's hard, but if you don't ever take it, you will always wonder. And everything's figure outable. You just take that step and you'll figure it out.
It's the regret that kills you.
Yeah. And it's one step at a time. It's one step, one thing, one problem at a time. And you just solve it and you just keep going. You just keep putting one foot in front of the other. So just start. Just do it.
I love that. That's so like, I think like inspiring. I think everyone just, for us, we were scared to just like email people. We were like, okay, we don't know if we're going to get a response.
Right.
So, well, we just want to thank you that like you're our first person on the podcast out. It's just like we took our first step and you helped us with the second step. So,
Good. Yeah. And it's not as scary, right?
yes.
It's not as scary. Once you take the step, you kind of realize, oh, wasn't that bad.
And
So-
to thank you, we have a little gift.
Oh, what?
We made this tasting.
Oh, so cute.
So
You guys, I love it. Oh, it's like y'all and it's mine. Oh, cute. Thank you guys.
Hi, I'm Alycia Trotter.
Hi, I'm Marsha Kasim Seni.
And I'm Alycia Trotter.
And this was Stereo on Business.